In this video, I will show how to replace the membrane switch in your PAT 1M 4.0 hand tool. Prior to removing cover on the tool, you want to make sure that you're grounded properly with an ESD ground strap. So as you can see, I'm grounded properly. Next, you want to just take and remove the 5 screws out of the left-hand housing. And there are 2 different length screws, so a lot of times I just leave the screws in the holes in the left-hand housing so you remember where they go. Okay, I think my screws are all loose here. I can just take and remove my left-hand housing. And by the way, this piece that just fell out is a counterbalance holder, and it actually belongs right here. So when you go to put the tool back together, that's where your counterbalance holder goes. Here's the location of the membrane switch. And in order to replace it, just lift up on the pad portion here and then disconnect it here from the harness. And then you want to get your new membrane switch and plug it into your harness like so, and set the membrane switch in there. There's a cutout in the bottom housing. Then I could actually lift the wires a little bit like so to dress my membrane switch so it's seated properly. And then you can take and put a piece of tape on here. You may have removed one to replace this, but you can set a piece of tape back on here. And next we'll be installing the left or top housing. Prior to putting the top housing on the tool, or the left-hand housing, what you want to do is just take and make sure all your wires are seated properly inside the tool. Your membrane switch is seated properly in the housing, and your rib on your electrical connector is lined up in the slot on the bottom housing. So then just set that down, take your top housing, set it on, make sure it snaps together nice like so. And then, like I say, I'm going to put the screws in. There's a short screw, a long screw, another. I'm going to leave this short screw out because I'm going to put the counterbalance holder in there, and then put the long screw in the back here. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and tighten these screws. I'm going to set this other screw right here. And then again, prior to putting in this screw right here, I'm just going to take my counterbalance holder and line up the hole in there, and then put this screw through it. And again, if you're not using a counterbalance holder, you don't need to install that. That's how you replace the membrane switch on your PAT 1M 4.0 hand tool.